What's up, guys? I'm Chad Barnes, and welcome to the channel. Here, it's all about real car talk, from simple fixes to smart driving tips and keeping your ride in top shape. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you watch all the way through. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Let's get to it.
Every day, more than 40 people die on the roads as a result of road accidents, including 2 children. The most frequent cause of accidents is irresponsibility of drivers. How to deal with persistent violators who injure pedestrians and other road users. Talk to the chairman of the Guild of Driving. Schools of Russia Guild of Driving Schools of Russia Sergei Lobrev, chairman of the Guild of Driving Schools of Russia, coordinator of Motorcycle Communities of the State Duma Committee on Labor, Social Policy and Veterans Affairs, head of the committee of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Russian Federation on the Development of Sustainable Transport Systems. Kolesa. R.U. Sergei Yurovich. Pedestrians are the most vulnerable category of road users. How does the government protect them? Sergei Lobrev. Traffic police officers stop thousands of cars and detain an average of 42 drunk drivers every day. It is like finding a needle in a haystack. As teachers and experts, we understand that more than half of all accidents happen because of daredevilry, inability to orientate on the road, rudeness, lack of moral and ethical qualities, nervous state, unfit to drive vehicles for health reasons. We try to bring all these facts to the attention of legislators and authorities in order to limit the number of such grief drivers. The issue of safety and preservation of human life is the fundamental task of the state, the deputy corps and every public organization engaged in educational activities in the field of road safety and driver training. The Guild of Driving Schools is constantly on the edge of the attack and continuously solves social, transport and educational problems. Interacting with the Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Education, Traffic Police, State Duma Committee on Transport and Construction of the Russian Federation, organizers of the national project Safe Roads, we conduct joint raids, take part in improving the regulatory framework and developing recommendations. K. What is your proposal? SL. We see the unpreparedness of the transportation system and insist that drastic measures be taken. We need to limit the number of errant drivers on the roads who do not realize that they are holding a murder weapon weighing a ton or more. The problem also concerns professional drivers, who also often become the perpetrators of accidents. Only the driver, unlike the pedestrian, has the opportunity to protect himself. It is an airbag and a cabin with soft upholstery. A pedestrian who crosses the road in the right place has no way to protect himself and his children. Persuasion and lectures will not help. The only thing that can stop an overconfident and unconscious driver is an objective medical examination, which should be established in our industry. We are in favor of pre-trip medical examinations of drivers using new technical means of control and being public, not formal. It is important that professional drivers are also checked by telemedicine. When a person gets behind the wheel of a vehicle, he immediately becomes a source of increased danger, especially trucking companies. And cab drivers are taken into account. And not to warn, to turn a blind eye to the sometimes formal pre-trip inspection and not to take measures to limit the departure to. The line of careless drivers is considered inaction and, as regulated by law, criminally or administratively punishable inaction. We are concerned that in the State Duma there are long discussions on road safety issues. Sometimes there are documents stuck in the Legislative Assembly for years. For example, the law on taxes, which has been under consideration for 7 years. In addition, the issue of transport telemedicine is being resolved for the 3rd year, although digitalization, remote testing, and training are developing so rapidly. Within the framework of roundtables and public discussions, we will insist on the speedy adoption of the bill on telemedicine for workers in the transportation industry. K. During joint raids with traffic police officers, do you check how medical examinations of drivers are conducted? SL. Of course. During an unscheduled inspection of 7 out of 20 driving schools in the Vladimir region, we were surprised that almost 10% of driving masters suddenly did not come to work after learning that their health condition would be checked not by a paramedic, but using telemedicine. The heads of convoys and medics showed us the mountains of papers that need to be filled out and archived. During raids with representatives of the taxi driver trade union and the traffic police, we saw in the glove compartments of some drivers' trip tickets filled out 3 to 4 days in advance. This is an alarming signal, considering that we checked only a few convoys. Now the situation is such that everything is at the level of the cave age. Even the dynamics of blood pressure is not monitored in drivers. It seems that a normal 140/80 for a hypertonic person is a critical condition. The State Automobile Inspectorate does not have a unified database of drivers who have health problems and are prone to drug and alcohol abuse, or even have been deprived of their driving licenses before. Such a restriction is due to the adoption of the law on medical secrecy. But the controlling bodies should have no secrets in this chain, and there should be no drivers with a state on the edge of the foul. At a speed of 60 kilometers per hour, a car travels almost 24 meters, and if the driver is even a little slowed down, he can collect a string of cars. The life and health of other people depends on his second condition. K. How many drivers are we talking about? SL. Now we are considering the issue of 5 to 6 million professional truck and public transport drivers. A professional driver should clearly understand and know how to make a maneuver, observe the rules of overtaking, correctly predict the behavior of other vehicles. It is necessary to take into account that driving schools do not prepare drivers qualitatively enough and produce theoreticians, as 70% of training is taken up by theoretical disciplines. The law on telemedicine would allow to limit the departure on the road of drivers who cannot be allowed to drive for health reasons, and thus save a large number of people. And we are not just talking about alcohol intoxication. There are many dangerous conditions. And now only during the exchange of a driver's license once in 10 years, they check the admission to the right to drive a vehicle. K. The Ministry of Emergency Situations deploys mobile first aid stations on federal highways during snowstorms. Can the Ministry of Health organize something similar, at least in the heat of summer? SL. On the Chuisky Highway in Altai Krai, for the first time we saw medical aid stations where drivers of private cars can stop and check their health and that of their passengers. Regional authorities have organized them in places where there has been an increase in traffic accidents. The All-National Association of Motorcycling and Caravanning believes that, for safety reasons, such points should be available wherever there is a need and is ready to participate. The state of health should be checked on the route, when it is unbearably hot, when the heart is pounding and there is no one to help you, when you are cut off by boorish drivers, when you feel dizzy from the heat and gas vapors. At any moment, as soon as the driver felt a slight indisposition, he should stop driving and check his condition in organized and equipped medical stations. We hope that the Parliamentary Corps will speed up the decision to pass the bill on telemedicine for drivers. I repeat, the lives of pedestrians and drivers are in danger, and one of the main measures that will reduce the loss of life on the roads is to check the health of drivers using modern technology. In conclusion, the intersection of telemedicine and road safety presents a promising avenue for reducing accidents and saving lives. By leveraging real-time medical consultations and immediate access to healthcare professionals, we can ensure that timely interventions are made in critical situations. As we continue to innovate and integrate technology into our daily lives, it is essential to prioritize the health and safety of our communities. Together, we can transform the way we respond to road incidents, ultimately creating safer streets for everyone. Thank you for watching, and let's work towards a future where every crosswalk is a safe passage.